EA Sports coverage of the NFL playoffs brings us to chilly, but of course sold out GEHA Field at Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City.
For a berth in the AFC Championship game, off we go in the divisional round of the NFL playoffs. Room to run at the 50. And a heck of a return as he goes out of bounds across the 50 inside the 45.
It's tough enough to play defense anyway, but after a return like that, now your mindset has to change a little bit. Instead of going out and just getting settled in the first few plays, you have to be prepared for just about anything.
Yellow, yellow. Right side.
On 1st and 10, here's Pacheco.
And he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Now 2nd and 9.
And the slot man goes in motion left. Throwing now is Mahomes. Eluding the pressure right. Able to locate his running back open downfield. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. That goes for a gain of 31.
This play is a thing of beauty when it works as designed because they let the running back slip out of the backfield and head down the sideline on a wheel route. Number one, it's easy for him to get lost. And number two, really tough for the linebacker to run with him. And this ball's right on the money and leaves.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Kansas City.
Xavier Worthy.
An 11-yard touchdown.
And the Chiefs are on the board first here in this division round matchup. Extra point by Butker is on target.
And it's now a 7-0 game. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away.
And we will not have a return. They'll bring this to the 30.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 right at the 30. On the ground, this is Derrick Henry. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards. And they'll send the slot in motion left. Now it's Jackson.
That's complete. It's Zay Flowers with it.
And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. 4 catches for him in the wild card win a week ago, and he's got his first here, and it's a first down. Running from the gun with Henry.
Ball on the 36 now. Here's 2nd and 5.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Hill. And he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up 3rd down.
So it's the big left tackle who gets tagged with a hold.
And sometimes you're actually executing the block well, and he starts to slip off of you, and instinctively you reach out and grab him. And when it's done like that, it's often seen by the official and called.
Temporarily out of field goal range now as they come up on a 2nd and long after the holding call. To throw is Jackson. Flushed out right. And he's going to lose a yard or two. Taken down behind the line. It's a loss of a yard, so they'll wind up crediting him with a sack, and it brings up 3rd down. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
He finds Bateman over the middle.
They'll get 11, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
There's another example where defensive coaches constantly preach, not allowing any run after the catch. They gave up a few more yards than they wanted to, but they were able to get him down quickly and force a 4th down.
So both teams come away with points on their opening drives. Now they still trail. They answered the touchdown with a field goal, but at least able to break that goose egg here early.
And that is what's important, right? Because they didn't let that initial touchdown go unanswered. Took the ball themselves, moved it downfield, and put it through the post for 3 points. Game on.
KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive.
Yellow.
This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
That's complete. It's Travis Kelce. Look at the big fella go.
And he's got it all the way down to the 12-yard line. A big play there on the catch and run. 58 yards.
And normally when you think about huge field-flipping plays like this, it's that shifty slot receiver, that burner on the outside. Not here. That's a tight end doing work down the field. Where's the oxygen mask? He's going to need it after that one. A big, big play.
He'll check this one down to Pacheco.
And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and it's 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
2nd down, ball on the 3. 1st down marker at the 1-yard line. A first carry for Elijah Mitchell.
And he gets halfway there from the 4 to the 2 on a gain of 2. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the 1st down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
And on 3rd and inches, we're going to get a whistle and a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 1st quarter.
Fight on these two. Fight on these two.
Now Mahomes going to shift him around. That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit. Here is 3rd and 5.
Yellow.
Mahomes now to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Well, it's been a tough go for him. These guys have been driving down the field, but defensively, once they got their backs to the goal line, turned up the pressure, that's going to lead to a 4th down. Well played.
Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. It's picked up. A live ball here, remember.
Got to say, Charles, a little surprising to have a kick this short blocked. Usually that happens on the longer ones, but great job by the special teams to kind of sift through there and get a hand on it.
Yeah, you've seen a lot of football over time, partner, and you're right about it. Typically, the longer field goals start lower because they have so much more ground to cover to get to the post. And that's when you get a hand on it. These short ones, you're able to pop it up in the air pretty quickly. Normally, you get height. In this case, extra effort to block that one.
And this one incomplete. Threw it down at the feet of his receiver.
That one came up just a little bit short. I'm wondering, is it still a little bit tight as this game starts? What would you say? Maybe he's got to take the governor off of it?
Or maybe the donut off the baseball bat like the guys
like
on the on-deck circle?
I like that. Yeah, just take that little extra weight off of him and start to play freely.
And that one going to come up short. Low throw.
Tough series for the passing game. Things just aren't clicking. Hoping they can come through on this play and get this series back on track with a completion for enough yardage for a 1st down.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
Hey, middle.
Jackson from the shotgun.
This throw taken in by Isaiah Likely.
And almost, but not quite. Needed 10. He got 9. 4th down.
I thought maybe when he caught it, he'd have a good chance of getting that 1st down, but that's a nice job of holding him up and preventing him from getting to the sticks.
And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard. They'll indeed go for it with Jackson. Now the defense loses him. It's complete. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. 4th down conversion plays, you usually think 1, 2, 3 yards, maybe 10. Not there. What a huge pickup as the sticks make a drastic shift forward. So now 1st and 10 in Chiefs territory at the 36. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28.
Someone's looking fresh, and his O-line is definitely licking their chops. Everyone likes to run block. If you're an offensive lineman, nice early burst, nice gain, too.
Now a 2nd and 2.
No, we changed it.
This time Jackson will throw it.
Complete to Likely.
2 catches now in this divisional round matchup. That one a 1st down.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play, and that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
Raven football here as we begin quarter number 2, as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Henry up the middle. And trying to push forward, but he is going to be stuffed up in the backfield. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Here's Jackson to throw.
Right side, there's Likely with it. And a hard tackle there as he'll go down after a gain of about 5.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives him a much better opportunity to convert on third down.
Now it's Jackson. Flush to his right. And he's taken down, trying to do a little too much, getting outside of the pocket, and it results in a sack.
A loss of 3 on a sack made by multiple defenders.
Tucker's kick is good, and they'll get it back within a point at 7-6.
So the margin shrinks there as they get the field goal to draw them a bit closer here in the second quarter.
Yeah, nice snap, nice hole. They just want to keep this game close, so give them credit for finishing that one off with 3.
And no chance to see a return on the dynamic kickoff. They'll move this out to the 30-yard line. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive.
The last time they had a little bit of a special teams breakdown. That field goal was blocked.
Yeah, and everything has to be precise in the kicking game. Snap, hold, kick. Obviously the blocking to keep people out. So what you really want to do is get in there and get 6 points and take the pressure off of those guys.
Well, partner, I don't think it's any secret that any running back wants to be able to see a hole open so that he can gallop through it. But in this case, he had to slow down. There was really no hole there. And he took a big hit in order to get that 1 yard.
It's Kelsey on the ground.
And he's going to be knocked down hard at the end of that one.
I know I spend a lot of time talking about how tight ends in a lot of cases now are pumped up wide receivers, but they're still big people. He used that frame right there to absorb a really big hit on him and held on to the ball.
Yellow.
Headed straight, it's Pacheco.
Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Kyle Van Noy in on the stop.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
A 2nd and 10, a very chilly day here, but no snow. And I got to say, if it's going to be this cold, I want snow. You should see Charles' face. He's looking at me like I'm crazy.
And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 42. To give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
And he'll be touched down at the end, but a big play on that one.
Yellow.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20.
Hey, 43, 15.
Here's Mahomes to throw. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. Call it a gain of 3 on the play, and it's 2nd down.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
They'll come up 2nd and 7.
To the right side, it's Kelsey. And he takes it inside the 10 to the 8 before he's out of bounds. 75 yards receiving for him now. It's a first down.
A few moving pieces on that play because that was an RPO, was it not?
It was, but one important piece that didn't move incorrectly, the offensive line. Because when you're running this play, as he continues...
And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown.
Isaiah Pacheco
from 8 yards out as his guys are able to extend their lead. Butker now to add the extra point. And it's up. It's good. Our score 14-6. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away.
And not willing to risk a return. This ball's going to come out to the 30-yard line.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. They've been settling quite a bit. They've been able to move the football some, but they've just been settling. That's one of the reasons they're down on the scoreboard.
I love that word you picked, settling, because nowadays in this NFL, you're thinking touchdown almost every drive because everything's so high-powered. Yeah, you'll take the field goal, but you always feel like you're leaving points out there when you don't put it in the end zone.
They'll be trying to put it in the end zone here on this drive. Throwing is Jackson.
On target to his man, Likely.
And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out.
We saw these guys have some big plays in their wild card win last week, and they're certainly going to need to continue to put up plays like we just saw there if they hope to continue to move on in these playoffs.
You change it. Hey, report. Report. Hey.
From the gun, Jackson. And the Chiefs are going to get him. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sand.
He continues, Charles, to be under constant pressure, and these sacks, they're starting to pile up.
And if they want to have a realistic chance in this one, they've got to change their blocking assignments. They've got to do a better job to keep him upright. If he's going to be on the deck constantly, they've got no chance to win this game.
Man, it's caught at the 6-yard line. And this will set them up nicely deep down in KC territory. It's a big play there for Baltimore. 52 yards.
Hey, middle.
They'll try and run for it with Henry. And he tries to power forward, but he will not get back to the line of scrimmage. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. Now from the 7, here's 2nd and goal. Now Jackson. And he's got it. And in for the Ravens touchdown.
Zay Flowers.
A 7-yard touchdown grab.
And the Ravens get a late score here in the final minute of the first half.
A little surprising they wouldn't go for 2, but this is up and good. And the lead is cut to 1 at 14-13. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
And no run back here. That's going to be a touchback. And we'll bring it out to the 30-yard line. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive.
Yellow.
And with a 1-point lead, you'd have to think they'll be looking just to get this to halftime.
To throw, it's Mahomes.
That's into the hands of Worthy.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Now another timeout called for by the offense, as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime.
Yellow. 15, yellow.
Mahomes going to throw. And this is caught. It's Brown. The Chiefs quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts.
So as they talk it over, we step aside.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Yellow. Our side.
From the gun, it's Mahomes. And that's going to be incomplete. 12 seconds left.
He didn't just deny a big throw there. He broke that one up in the red zone. An excellent play, one that may help save points on the board when this drive is over.
Second and 10.
Yellow. Our side.
Again, they'll throw with Mahomes. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete.
They decided the opportunity was there and launched a deep ball, but he was unable to get away from the defender, couldn't create space, couldn't uncover the end of the route, and that one winds up incomplete.
Butker's kick here is good, and that'll move their lead up to 4 now. So this time the protection holds up for him just fine, and he's able to bang it through.
I think their special teams coach got the point across. He gave him a pretty good earful after the block earlier, and this time there's no penetration, so they're able to pick up 3.
And no run back forthcoming, so this will come out to the 30.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
And they'll have time for one play. That's it. 3 seconds to go before intermission.
Escaping the pressure right. And he'll just get rid of it. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. Win or go home, that's the name of the game, and we're back underway with the second half of this AFC divisional round.
And this return going to come to a quick end as he is belted at the end of that one.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going.
This offense, Charles, had a strong first half throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage, but that hasn't translated so far on the scoreboard as they begin the third quarter here, trailing and looking for a little momentum.
Yeah, you're right about that because, you know, let's face it, in the first half, most of their focus was in the passing game. And to their credit, resulted in a healthy amount of yardage. So I would think that at halftime, they're going to anticipate that defense loosening up a little bit to try and cover the passing lanes. They've got to get the running game going, and there should be some gaps to run through now.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
And he's going to be brought down inside the 45 at the 43. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Hey, out. Hey, Ozzy, sit up.
Play action. It's Jackson.
Throw right side here, taking it.
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And it's picked up by the Chiefs. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
So the opposite of what they envisioned when they left that locker room, a turnover on the opening drive of this third quarter.
I like your identification there because that's exactly what they discussed in the locker room before they came out on the field. Let's get the ball. Let's go down and score, put some points on the board, and feel good about it. Not an insurmountable lead, but definitely not how they saw it at halftime.
And this is thrown to the sideline. No receiver in the area, though, and that's going to bring out a flag.
Yeah, he hadn't gotten far enough away from the pocket to throw that football away, and that draws the flag.
Yeah, the old tackle box, right? Get outside of each tackle, and then you can go ahead and throw it away, and you're in good shape. But if you're back there in the pocket, you got to make sure of what you're doing.
They lose the yardage, and, of course, they also lose the down on the grounding call, and it's quickly 2nd and long.
Attack, attack!
Now here's Mahomes.
And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. They'd like to avoid punting from their own end zone so they could use something here on 3rd down.
Hey, 43. Yellow.
Snap coming at 1, and it's Mahomes.
Well, this one complete. It's Rashee Rice. And he'll be touched down in the end, but a big play on that one.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a 1st down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard. They'll go for it. It's Mahomes. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Ravens get the football back and in great shape.
DC, ready? DC.
They'll try and get the run game going. This is Henry. And he'll power his way forward for about 4 yards there on the 1st down carry.
Well, we all know the guy carrying the ball is going to get the credit both in the stat line and probably in the newspaper. But guess what? Those guys creating holes, they couldn't feel better about themselves right now. Offensive line, tight end, probably even the wide receivers are involved. They're moving the ball well.
The slot man in motion right.
And they'll fake the jet sweep and run up the middle with Henry.
And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. Now they're going to be dealing with a 3rd and 7 as that one officially a loss of 1.
With his size, it often takes more than one guy to get him down, but if you can at least slow him up and the reinforcements arrive, you have a chance to get him on the ground, and that they did that time for a loss.
Jackson.
He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing 4th down.
Tucker's kick is good. So the starting field position was terrific following the surprising turnover on downs, but the end result, only 3 points.
Simply stated, I think you have to look at that as a missed opportunity.
Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away.
And we will not have a return. They'll bring this to the 30. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. They're coming off a fourth down gamble that last drive that backfired, CD, but really not as badly as it could. Their defense held up and only gave up 3 points.
And what they want to do is play off the momentum the defense gave them. Only giving up the 3 points in that situation after they failed on fourth down. Now they want to make it pay off. They want to pay homage to the defense and have their own drive pay off in points for themselves.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Yellow.
Looking to throw is Mahomes. Short throw hauled in by Kelsey. They showed off a nice juke of the defender before the next wave could bring him down. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You get better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Now they pick up the first down there with a gain of 4.
Yellow, yellow. Hey, 43.
They run it with Pacheco from the gun.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Now Mahomes. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
I think he's as fine with that incompletion as a quarterback can be, in all honesty. He avoided his first sack of the game, and he did have a chance of connecting for yardage, just unable to on that throw.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down.
When Mahomes sees something, he'll change the play.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 39. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
43,
Now they'll change
43.
things around before the snap.
Throwing now is Mahomes.
They'll check this one down to Pacheco.
And he gets it down a yard or 2 shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. A gain of 8 there on the play. And that'll bring up a 2nd down in just a couple. Mahomes to throw once more.
That's caught right side by Worthy.
And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
And a lot of times these plays, they either go for nothing or they go for big yardage. And here, they got to the outside, turned it upfield, and ended up getting a nice little gain out of it.
Mahomes going to fire quickly to Worthy. And he's going to be touched down, but he's got the first down.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
One quarter remains for the right to advance to the AFC title game. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL.
So not quite a first and goal. It's first and 10 from the 10. Pacheco gets it up the gun.
And he'll get about 4 there as he takes it from the 10 down to the 6.
Second down and 6 now.
Mahomes now to throw. This is caught. Touchdown!
Isaiah Pacheco
with his second touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Chiefs get an important score there to extend their lead here in this fourth quarter.
And the kick makes it through, but flags come flying in as well. It appears we're going to get a roughing call tacked on. Trailing in the fourth, this close of a game, that's a penalty you just can't afford.
It's an absolute killer, and it's one that drives coaches and teammates insane.
After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield.
And no chance to see a return on the dynamic kickoff. They'll move this out to the 30-yard line.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now first and 10 right at the 30. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Eluding the pressure right. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. They were looking to throw, holding on the big right tackle.
That's real simple, partner. Keep your hands inside in the chest area. You're probably okay. You get it out on the shoulders, get them wide. Usually going to pick up a holding call.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a first and 20.
No, we change it.
Now it's Jackson.
And he'll get this underneath to Henry.
And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line.
From the 31, here's a second down and 9.
They go play action now. Jackson, he's going to float this one deep right side.
Well, into a sea of defenders and intercepted. Trent McDuffie with a pick. Well, that one was in the air for an agonizingly long time.
Just begging to be picked off, wasn't it? It's one thing if you're throwing a ball like that, trying to throw someone open or lead them into an area. But that ball needed to be thrown with a lot more conviction. As a result, it's an easy interception.
They'll run out of the gun with Pacheco.
And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
And for the defense, this is a spot where you don't want to totally sell out to stop the run, but you do have a pretty good idea of what you're going to see. And that's good work right there to keep them in check on that first down carry.
Working from the gun, Mahomes.
That one caught by Rice.
And some space here. And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown.
Rashee Rice,
47 yards.
And the Chiefs are drawing closer to a date in the AFC title game as they extend this fourth quarter lead.
Butker on for the PAT. And the lead is up to 15 now. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away.
And Hill will opt for the touchback.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
Their hopes of advancing past this divisional round hanging by a thread, if that, as they begin here with a 1st and 10 on the wrong side of the scoreboard.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down. To throw is Jackson. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down.
Well, it certainly appears to me that the defensive guys are starting to look a little bit tired while he still has some fresh legs. Not the biggest gain we've seen on a scramble, but still some positive yardage on a play that initially looked like a sure win for the defense.
And the slot man goes in motion left. Throwing is Jackson. And Walker has it. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. So now 1st and 10 in Chiefs territory at the 36. Off the play fake. Here's Jackson.
That's going deep for Bateman.
And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. Oh, very close to a turnover there in the end zone.
And they're at the point of the ball game now where they've got to take some chances. They've got to put the ball in the air and just see what happens. But this defense knows that all too well.
Now a 2nd and 10.
Jackson. He'll buy some time right.
Throw right side, going to be taken in by Henry.
And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. He got 29 yards that time.
Good yardage on the completion there, and when they look at the scoreboard, they do understand a field goal is not going to do them any good. My guess, they're going to press the ball downfield as far as possible, try and throw it into the end zone and get a score because they know they've got to get that done and get the ball back as quickly as possible.
And did he get the feet down? Yes, touchdown.
Zay Flowers,
his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Ravens are able to make some inroads here to that deficit.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point as this gets him back within a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
And not willing to risk a return. This ball's going to come out to the 30-yard line. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. And this has been a tight game to this point. Of course, they usually are at this juncture of the playoffs. But with the lead in the football, the clock right now their friend as they try to...
There he goes, left side. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown.
Isaiah Pacheco
saving his best for the playoffs with his 3rd touchdown of the game.
And the Chiefs use the big play to extend their 4th quarter lead.
Butker now to add the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away.
And no run back here. That's going to be a touchback, and we'll bring it out to the 30-yard line.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. A big play on the catch and run, covering 34 yards. Jackson now. There goes a deep ball, end zone.
And this one almost intercepted. Had a chance to come down with it in the end zone, but could not hang on.
I certainly like the idea. You're down on their side of the field. Get your big play guy involved. That time, they put one up for him to see if he can pull it down in the end zone, but the coverage was good, and it winds up incomplete.
Here's Jackson to throw. Flushed out right. Airs it out toward the corner of the end zone. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
When you're leading in the final quarter, your radar has to be up for any potential deep shots. And probably not the last one they're going to see in this game, not as long as they hold this lead.
So now 3rd and 10, a big play to start the drive, but nothing since. Here's Jackson. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And a good tackle there right around the 30, stops him short of the first down. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and that's going to make it 4th down. Here we go. It's Jackson on 4th down. And it's going to be batted down, and we'll go the other way with the football. The Ravens go for it, but come up empty. And the Chiefs' defense comes up with a stop. So now with a little over 2 minutes to play, the road back gets very difficult.
Difficult, but still not impossible if they go ahead and play this thing out. Now the defense has to come up big. They've got to go for the strip of the football on each and every snap to try and give themselves a chance.
Two minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Chiefs in possession of the ball as we welcome you back. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. You'd have to think likely another running play coming here, 2nd and 11.
Attack, attack! Easy.
Here's Mahomes to throw.
Well, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Roquan Smith.
A great pick, nice return, but you know he's just beating himself up inside for not getting all the way in.
No doubt about it, because he had visions of end zone in his mind. Going to be the total hero. But we did see there the emphasis on it's not just good enough to pick it off anymore. Bring it back, get the yardage, and really help out your offense.
And he is going to lose yardage here.
2nd down, goal to go. Now Jackson.
And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet. Okay, so they got the score. Do you go for 1 here and save the possible 2-point conversion for later?
I think you do, because if you go for 2 here and you don't get it, that's deflation.
Yeah.
Now you wonder why you're even going for it. Take the easy one now and come back and try and get it later.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And this game not quite in hand yet. We'll likely see all 3 timeouts defensively and then reassess where we are. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play.
down these two. Fire down these two. There's Hank.
Interesting. Mahomes wants to throw it. Sliding out of the pocket.
That's into the hands of Worthy.
And these guys certainly are not hiding what their intention is. They're absolutely showing it. They're definitely not going to sit on this lead here in the fourth quarter.
Where's Hank?
5 points of contact necessary at this stage as they'll run on first down.
The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this fourth quarter.
Where's Hank?
And they'll indeed take a knee.
Yellow, yellow.
The Chiefs going to play on another week as we say so long, everybody.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gunn. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. The Chiefs victorious here as we say so long from Arrowhead.